You feel a tingle on your tongue, the kind of itch you'd normally ignore. 2 minutes later, your lips feel too big for your face. Your throat starts to tighten, and every breath you take is a little smaller than the last. The one thing that could stop this is in a drawer, 20 feet away. But nobody's moving. Everyone's waiting to see if it gets better on its own. It doesn't. Your throat keeps closing while the room decides it's probably nothing. This is anaphylaxis, a severe allergic reaction, and the scary part isn't that it's rare, it's where it hides. It hides in the most ordinary minutes of your life. A bite of a cookie, a spoonful of somebody else's sauce, a bee sting in July, a new prescription you picked up that morning. For almost everyone, nothing happens. But if your body has decided that one specific thing is an invader, that first bite starts a clock. So what's actually going on in there? Your immune system is supposed to protect you. In anaphylaxis, it panics. It decides a peanut or a shrimp or an antibiotic is trying to take you out, and it dumps every weapon it has into your bloodstream at once. Except there's nothing to fight, so all of it turns on you. Blood vessels start leaking, blood pressure drops through the floor, and your throat, your tongue, the tissue you actually breathe through, starts swelling shut. That's the whole thing. It doesn't break anything. It just talks your own body into closing the one door you can't live without. You'd think something this dangerous would be obvious. That's exactly why it gets people. Anaphylaxis sets 2 traps. Trap 1? It hides inside safe. The people this happens to usually aren't taking risks. They're being careful. They ate something they'd eaten 100 times, out of a package that looked exactly like the one they trust, at a restaurant that said they understood. And then the label changed, or the kitchen used the same pan, or the recipe quietly added one ingredient. A food that was fine 1,000 times is the one that isn't. Trap 2. Wait and see. This is the one that costs the most lives. Symptoms start, the tingling, the hives, the tight throat, and every instinct you have says, hang on a second. Maybe it's mild. Maybe take a Benadryl, lie down, see if it passes. Here's the problem. Benadryl doesn't stop anaphylaxis. It was never built to. It can knock down an itch or a hive, but it does nothing for a swelling airway or a blood pressure that's falling. And it takes half an hour to do even that much. You might not have half an hour. Look at the fatal cases, and it's almost never a missing device or some mystery trigger. It's delay. It's the minutes people spend hoping. Let me tell you about Sarah Denny. She's an emergency room pediatrician in Columbus, Ohio, and this is a real story. Her son Liam was a toddler with a few known food allergies. One ordinary morning, she gave him soy milk. He'd had it before, she reckons about 200 times, no problem. This morning was different. He started coughing, then he was throwing up, and within about a minute, he was unconscious. Now, Sarah's an ER doctor. She knew what she was looking at, and she didn't stop to think about it. They had an auto-injector in the house. Her husband gave him the shot right there, and they got him to the hospital. And because that medicine was already in him, Liam made a full recovery. Afterwards, she said something I haven't been able to shake. If they hadn't had that injector at home, she doesn't think her son would have made it. 200 times that soy milk was fine. And then one morning, it wasn't. The only thing standing between those two outcomes was a couple of minutes and one shot nobody waited on. Liam's family did everything right, but most of the worst outcomes come down to a handful of mistakes, and they're all completely understandable, which is exactly why you need to know them now, before you're the one standing there. Don't reach for the antihistamine first. Benadryl isn't a rescue. If this is the real thing, epinephrine comes first, every time. The pink stuff buys you nothing but lost minutes. Don't wait to be sure. Nobody wants to overreact, but epinephrine is remarkably safe, and every guideline out there says the same thing. If you're in doubt, use it. A dose somebody didn't strictly need won't hurt them. It's the dose people waited too long on that they never stop thinking about. And don't let them stand up or walk it off. If their blood pressure is crashing, they need to be on the floor. I'll come back to this one because it's the piece almost nobody knows. 3 rules, and they all break for the same reason. People don't want to make a scene, so they underreact, and then it's too late. And when nobody moves in time, this is what that looks like. June 2018, a 15-year-old girl named Alexi Stafford was over at a friend's house. Her family shared this story afterward, hoping it might spare somebody else's kid. Alexi had a peanut allergy, and her family had done everything right her whole life. She knew what was safe and what wasn't, and a certain red package of a very familiar cookie was on the safe list. That day, there was an open pack of them on the counter, the top flap peeled back. Same red packaging she'd trusted her entire life. What she couldn't see, with that flap folded over, was that this was a different version of the same cookie. This one had peanut butter cups in it. She ate one cookie. She felt the tingling in her mouth almost straight away and went home, but it moved fast. Her family used 2 epinephrine injectors, and then they waited for the paramedics, for what her mother later called an eternity. About 90 minutes after 1 cookie, Alexi didn't make it. Her mom's warning to the rest of us afterward was heartbreaking, and it was simple. They'd spent their whole lives protecting her from 1 ingredient, and all it took was a package that looked safe. That wasn't carelessness. That was a disguise. So how do you protect yourself from something hiding in a cookie, or a sauce, or a sting you never saw? Honestly, you can't. Not perfectly, not forever. That's the hard part. But here's the number that changes how you think about all of this. In the fatal cases, the time from exposure to the body giving out is usually somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. A sting can drop someone in 10, and an ambulance very often takes longer than that to get to you, which means whoever happens to be standing in that room is the one who decides how this ends. If there's an epinephrine auto-injector anywhere nearby, that's your answer. It's a spring-loaded pen straight into the outer thigh. Adrenaline does the exact opposite of everything the reaction is doing. Opens the airway back up, tightens those leaking vessels, brings the blood pressure back. There's a nasal spray version now too, if needles are the reason someone never carried one. Use it at the first sign, not the worst one. And you don't have to be certain it's anaphylaxis. That's official guidance now. If you're wrong, you haven't hurt them. But let's be real, most of you watching don't have one of these in the house. So here's the part nobody teaches you. Say it out loud. Does anyone have an EpiPen? Ask them. Ask the room, ask the restaurant, ask the school office. These things are everywhere, and there are real cases of a stranger's injector saving somebody's life. People just never think to ask, so ask. And then there's the next one, which has ended lives in seconds. Get them on the floor and keep them there. Flat on their back, legs up. If they're fighting for breath, let them sit, but on the ground, legs stretched out straight in front of them. Not in a chair, not standing. I know that sounds like a detail. It isn't. There are documented cases of people going into cardiac arrest within seconds of just standing up, getting off the couch, walking to the car, stepping out of a vehicle. When your blood pressure is that low, standing empties your heart. So they don't stand, they don't walk, they don't go to the bathroom alone, even when they swear they're feeling better. If they pass out, roll them onto their side. If it's a baby, hold them flat across your body, never up on your shoulder. Call an ambulance. Don't drive them. Paramedics carry epinephrine and can treat them on the way. Your car can't do that. If there's an asthma inhaler, it goes second, never first. It might ease the wheeze, it does nothing for a closing throat. If they stop breathing, start CPR. And even if they seem completely fine again, hospital anyway. This can come back hours later. The people this happens to almost never did anything careless. They just waited a few minutes, because a few minutes never feels like life and death. Now you know it can be. I'm Captain Survival. Stay safe out there.